So earlier today, I went back to Big Five and I bought one of these Sport Series throwers, which I had seen a couple of days ago for sale at Big Five. $10 was the price on them. They're marked down. This style of throwing knife, I recognize this design's been around since probably the 1950s. I remember seeing this knife at least in the 60s when I was a kid. It was offered in ads in the back of the Popular Mechanics and Popular Science magazines, and it was called a True Balance Thrower and was marketed by a gentleman named Harry McEvoy, M-C-E-V-O-Y, I believe. M-C-E-V-O-Y, yeah. And there's some information about him on the internet if you're curious. I believe his son took one of them with him for Vietnam service and used it over there. Probably not combatively, but probably for chopping vegetation or stuff. I don't know, but that would be my guess. This is a Sport Series thrower. I don't believe they're made any longer. I don't see it in the new current edition of Lynn Thompson's catalog, which you can get for free. They'll mail it to you. It's a wonderful catalog just full of Cold Steel's products. Now this particular throwing knife here, though, weighs 10.8 ounces. The thickness of the steel is 3.5 millimeters, so it measures about 1/8 of an inch English. The handle is polypropylene scales that are held on with screws and is about 4.5 inches in length. The overall length is 13.5 inches, and the blade is about 9 inches. And I think this has been discontinued. You can still get their higher end version, their Perfect Balance thrower. Same steel, I believe, 1055 carbon with a black finish, but it's a little heavier. It's almost a pound. Actually, I think it is a pound, 16 ounces. The thickness is 5 millimeters, so about 1/4 of an inch, and same dimensions otherwise, about 13.5 inches overall and a 9-inch blade. I think they may put a finer edge on the higher end one, and you can purchase separately a sheath for these. I've already been out throwing this, and there's the price right there at Big Five. Right now it was $20, and now they're at $10. Pretty nice. I like the weight and heft of the knife. It's not overwhelming. You can see the logo here, Perfect Balance Sport. The Sport denotes that this is the lighter weight version of this throwing knife. And then their logo here, Cold Steel, South Africa. So apparently they have a South Africa associate that makes these for them. Feels really good in the hand. Like I said, I've been throwing it. This polypropylene handle is nice and smooth. It just slides right out of your hand. The weight's about perfect. It sinks into the wood nicely with a real satisfying thunk. Not particularly sharp, but again, it's just for throwing. You don't really need a razor sharp edge, though you probably could sharpen it up much more sharper if you wish to. Certainly would be a great field knife for very little money. You could probably go to a leather shop and get some scrap leather and craft your own sheath, and it'd be just a fine trail and camp knife and probably hold up very well. So I'll roll in a video. I'll post up a part 2. This will just be a part 1 review of this knife, and the part 2. Oh, now Lynn Thompson, Cold Steel, has a parking lot sale once or twice a year. They have a parking lot sale in September in Ventura, and then they have their Cold Steel tournament. I can't remember what they call it, but they have knife throwing competition and other events, and they usually have sales there too. So you might be able to pick up one of these sport models in the parking lot on sale on the closeout. Like I said, I've been throwing it. It has a black painted finish, and you can already see the paint is wearing. But you know, again, I don't expect it to last. It's for throwing. So I'll put up the other video, and you can see how it throws. All right. Thanks for checking in.